Okay, baby. All right, all right, all right, all right. I am talking and talking, and here it is. I'm not even live because you can't hear me. But guess what? My son just turned it up for me. I am so sorry, you guys. Sister Deborah was talking, and you know what, y'all? I was feeling good about what I was saying. So I'm gonna ask the Most High Yah if He can bring that back forward so that you all can hear what I was saying because it was feeling good to me. I'm going to be honest with you. It was feeling so good to me what was being said. So I know that the Ruach is present at this moment as I speak to you all because the feeling that I had in what I was saying. So I want to go back and let you know that what we're about to talk about is understanding Psalms 91. The reason why I needed to bring Psalms 91 into the clear, because for the last 6 months, I've been seeing people really riding high on Psalms 91, taking Psalms 91 and really applying it to their lives. But when Sister Deborah is done this evening, you're going to realize that you can't take Psalms 91 and apply it as if it's just given to you to apply because you're able to quote it and read it. There people are writing it down, they are recording Psalms 91, they're preaching on it, they are even making jazz mute, not jazz, what's that home saxophone, they play the saxophone, sing music to 91. I'm telling y'all, this Psalms 91, people need to put all that mess down and get a grip of what it's saying because it's saying something, but it's speaking to a people. And when I say to a people, it's speaking to one's inner man, and it's speaking to somebody that he already letting you know you mine. You belong to me. And for people to take Psalms 91 and think it's just like the what they call the Lord's Prayer, and you can just quote it with no understanding of what you're saying, it's kind of sad because I'm seeing people use Psalms 91, and I'm like saying, wait a minute, they can't go there. You cannot go there. But people in their own, like he said in Proverbs 16, verse 2, in a man's eyes is clean in his own eyes. And that means in his own flesh, his whole mentality to him is righteous, is just, or he know what he doing. It's not a he, but a she. It's a him, it's a he or she. But what the Father want us to understand that if you can just go into the study guide and apply what the study guide is saying to you, that's for your flesh. Oh, Deborah, you in trouble. You are in trouble. Because people tend to take Psalms 91 and they apply it to their flesh, and it gives them that comfort and that assurance. Oh, I'm in there. But we're going to discover this evening what Psalms 91 is saying. What Psalms 91 is actually saying. It's not saying what people are gripping and taking and going up under and believing and feeling, because I don't know why. This has been the last 6 months. Everybody, y'all, they got music, all kind of music instruments following Psalms 91. I'm serious. Everybody, they preaching Psalms 91, they teaching Psalms 91, and they don't understand what Psalms 91 is talking about. So the Father want me to show him up before you all, so you all can understand. Don't step in a realm that doesn't represent him to the fullness. And that's what we're going to do with 91. We're going to bring y'all all the way there. And we're going to go there with them. Because in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Yah, and the Word is Yah. Verse 2, it was with him in the beginning. Letting you know heaven holds the Word. Not earth, baby, but heaven holds the Word. And if the Word is not in you and holding you, you don't know the Word. That's why the Bible has been placed there to be a study guide. And in spite of him leaving a study guide here for us, man has smeared it, tampered with it, added, took away. So now we know we got to lean to the Ruach HaKodesh, the Father Spirit. Now, why? Because they didn't took on the study guide that y'all wanted us to know in the spiritual way. They didn't took it away and have smeared it and added and taken it, not added and took away from it, to where people really are taking verses and scriptures and chapters and precepting and lining and little here and taking it to their dear heart and don't even understand. Baby, I'm gonna take you to 91, and 91 gonna take you where Yah is at, okay? Because a lot of people tend to take these verses out of this book and they apply it to their lives. You can't. You cannot take nothing spiritual out of this book and apply it to your life, because it ain't for your life. It's for the spirit realm. Okay? That means it wants to bypass your flesh and it want to live in your inner man. It want to walk in your inner man. It want to talk in your inner man. It want to communicate with you from the inner man. It don't want you to think that you can just take these things and apply them to the outer man and think it's representing the Father. Only way any book, any information is going to represent Yah if it's going toward the spirit, not toward the flesh. The flesh can't even worship the Most High. Only way you can come to the Most High is your spirit and his spirit. So therefore, that's something that billions, I ain't gonna say billions, but I can say millions of churches have not taught people. Because you know why they didn't teach y'all that? Because if they taught you the spiritual realm, you already be at home. You would have been at home by now. And when I mean at home, you've been all up in y'all's face. You've been that close to the Most High. And that's why they never taught you the spiritual realm. They taught you the natural realm, the realm that will keep you away from who Yah is, because he wanted a relationship with you in the spirit. He didn't come and abide in your flesh. That's why he gave every man, when he blew the breath, in you came a spirit. Because he knew that the only way I'm going to deal with you is I'm coming to that realm right there that I blew in you. I'm not coming to the dirt to deal with you. I don't know where people get this mind that y'all have to deal with them from the dirt. Oh, no. You got them bent. Y'all is about the spirit. And I'm going to take you through Psalms, giving you the understanding of Psalms 91 from the spiritual realm. And it's going to make a lot of sense. You're going to say, well, why would people? It ain't no why. It's just because a lot of them ain't been taught. And Yah is not in the business of teaching nobody in this day and time. He said we are on his end time. And it's not even called time anymore. He said we are on his end day. So we in that day that they spoke about since the beginning of time, that we will be coming up on. That day is what we're living in. We ain't living on time. We're living on in that day. Remember, it was said that they would change the season and the time, and I think it's the time and season. You know why they can change it? Want me to tell y'all why they can change the time and season? Because y'all said, hey, I'm not in time, Deborah. I'm not in season. I'm in that day. See how we missed it? He said, if they don't come meet me where I'm at, that's on them. But I'm in that day. Come on, go with me to that day that I had prophesied, have warned people that you all would be. Come go there with me. Okay, so when they're talking about 91, they're talking about 91 and applying it to their flesh. But Sister Deborah going to show you how you got to apply it through the spirit. But before I go there, I want to ask a question. And the question which I'm going to ask, I'm going to also answer it. Why? Because somewhere in me feels that I might not get the answer. So let's see. There's a thing called awakening. If you know the definition of awakening, what would you say awakening is? was, and should be. The word awakening, what would you say it is, or it was, or that it should be in this day and time? Being so, we're learning so much. Do you all see what's going on in the world? We're learning something new every day. That was a lie, that was hidden, that was wrong, that was wicked, that was evil. We're learning it today. So, in a sense, if the world is revealing the darkness as far as the wickedness of what they have been doing, it you would think it would be them, but it's not. It's the Father. He's bringing every darkness to light in this day. Who do you think he's for? What's the sense of bringing the light out of all this darkness in this day? I can guarantee you it ain't for the dark, y'all. It's for the light. Those who walk in spirit, those who walk in truth, those who are the light. They're seeing the light being coming out of darkness. So many things people are happening. People talking about family secrets, family history, how they people that lost people who even murdered people are pulling up saying, I did it. Oh yeah, this is the sort of stuff coming out of darkness. Yeah, I did it. I did it 40 years ago, and here I am. That's what's going on today. Okay, so when we say awakening, what is your definition of awakening? You see, what are we awakening to? What should we be awakening to? What should we be awakening to? Let me see here. See if someone says should be knowing the difference between flesh and spirit. Okay, that's a good one. The difference between dark and light. That's a good one. That's a good one. And walking in the way of the spirit. All right. All right. All right. So here one has several definition of awakening. And we have okay, shalom, shalom, everyone in the live. So I'm like saying, okay, Father, you want me to bring 91. Okay. But then it was things he was giving me, and I was like, I would have never thought to bring this to you all. But let me explain something. He said, Deborah, awakening, since it's something that is actually taking place in the world today, let me give you what it is that you should be awakening to. So I'm going to share with you all what the Father is saying. He said, Deborah, the greatest awakening from the kingdom. Let me say that again. The greatest awakening from the kingdom. One more time. One more time. The greatest awakening from the kingdom is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Okay. Someone says, I think it basically means the veil has been lifted. All right. I get you. All right. So the awakening, the veil. But what does the veil being uplifted to reveal what? Yeah. Because see, the spirit telling me about this awakening. Now, this ain't this. I'm telling y'all, I got some help here tonight. In case I didn't introduce you to the Most High Yah, say He's my help tonight. Because He was telling me about the awakening, and He said one should be awakening to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. That should set the whole world down on the ground. That means everybody needs to take a seat. Everybody needs to bow down. You know how he said when he come, every knee gonna bow? Well, just this knowing that the awakening that the heaven says we should be awakening to, he's telling us what we should be. He ain't saying we are. Oh, Father, y'all. He talking to me too. He ain't saying what we are, have, or awakening to. He's saying what you should be awakening to. Is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Really getting to know their Yah. I mean, like really get to know their Yah, the truth of Yah to us, a people. We should know the truth. We should wake up to the truth of Yah. You want to wake up? Why are we waking up to everything outside of the truth of who? Yah. So we should know Abraham, Isaac. We should know Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. We should be awakening to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. We should also awaken to the truth of Yah. We should awaken up to ourselves and how we have conducted ourselves as disobedient, rebellion, and stiff neck. You want to talk about awakening? Tell them. Awaken to that. Awaken to the truth of who I am. Awaken to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Why ain't we waking up to that? You know what he told me? Those are the things we should be awakening to. If we want to use the word awakening, those are the things we should be awakening to. The things that represent who? Him, nobody else. Not Epstein, not Donald Trump. Him. Because awakening to the understanding that what took place with Epstein ain't going to deliver you in what's before you. We're awakening to everything that can't save us, can't deliver us. We're awakening to all that in this world. Oh, I didn't know this happened. They said he did this years ago. Oh, this happened years ago. Oh, they did this. They did this. They everything somebody done. But he said the greatest awakening in this day, it's only when we awaken to him. The truth of who he is. The truth of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Awaken to that, he says. Awaken to yourself. Awaken to yourself who you are as a stiff-necked, rebellion, and disobedient people. Awaken to that. You see, he says in Yah's final move regarding us. Guess what he told me? The reason why he brought that to me, now this is something new to me, y'all. I have not ever heard this before, so it's new to me in the way the Ruach brought it to me this evening. He said, the reason why I bring awakening to you, Deborah, is because I brought this to you first. And I said, yes, Father, you did. But now you're saying the awakening, we need to awaken to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah, which is you. We need to wake up to, we need to awaken to truth of Yah, the truth of Yah. Okay? As a people, we need to awaken. Okay? We need to also, he said, awaken to ourselves, our own wicked and evil, our sin, our disobedience, and what we have done. We need to have awakened to that. Okay? But guess what he told me, y'all? The father went on to telling me before he went into this awakening thing. He said, Deborah, do you know about Ishmael? Oh, yeah, that's Abraham's son. That's Abraham's oldest son. He said, Abraham's oldest son, Ishmael, been after, all right, Israel and Judah for the longest. Y'all begin to tell me Ishmael was one of the biggest role players in the Atlantic slave trade. And I'm like, okay, I know they played a role in it, but he said the number one role. Not the number one as far as the head, like the Catholics and all, but they played a big role. Who is that? Who is that? Who is Ishmael? He's the one that's not the promise. See, he ain't the promise. You see, the one that's not the promise has been after us for a mighty long time, to the point where the Father shared with me, Ishmael is the one that's still coming after you all. I would have never thought that. I would have thought Russia, China, over there, the fake ooze, everybody. But Ishmael ain't never been happy because he wasn't the promise. It's like Cain and Abel. Ishmael never was the promise. And he want to settle the score. And it always been in him through the lineage of his seed to come after that which took, so he feel, his inheritance. You know how Esau was after Jacob and was trying to catch him? When the Father was telling me this, I said, so what about today? He said, I'm talking about today, Deborah. Ishmael's coming after Judah. That's the one that's going to set up to come after Judah. Is Ishmael. Ishmael. I would have never got, hey, y'all, I would have never brought that forth until he showed it to me. He not showed it, but he revealed it in my spirit. But guess what he did? That's when he jumped on awaken. So they say they awaken. That's how he said it. So they say they awaken. Have they awakened to the fact that Ishmael is on their back? And I said, Ishmael, Abraham's oldest son? Yes. Yes. They also detached to Islam, the Muslim, but he's saying that they played a big role as well in the Atlantic slave trade. Knowing who we were, they played a big role. But Ishmael is going to come after Judah. He's not too much worried. They're not too much worried about Israel, the other 10 tribes. Why? Because the fact that the other 10 is scattered, but they're not in the condition that we are. And then he also shared with me that Judah never knew that what they suffered, the other 10 tribes did not. Benjamin is with Judah. So the other 10, they did not go through nowhere near. They came after Judah, and they knew they wasn't coming after nobody like they were coming after Judah. Ishmael is coming after Judah again. He's been doing it for a long time, and Judah never have been awakened to know that. So that's how he started off telling me about an awakening. He said, Judah, don't awaken to anything. I told you Judah, they got it because they have not even awakened to the fact that Ishmael is on their back. Yes, Ishmael. And he began to say that there's information showing Judah and Israel, not the fake Israel, but the Israel that Ishmael has been on their back. Why haven't they awakened to that? So he's saying that they have awakened to a lot of stupidity, even on these corners, talking stupid, but they have not awakened to what they need and they should awaken to. That was the first awakening he put on me because he knew I wasn't awakened to that. Not that Ishmael is still going after Judah. I had no idea. No idea. Even though they would portray that, or it's one particular one, he always talking about how America is doing Judah. But it's all about trying to get something started with Judah and America. And Judah wouldn't have no idea that this Muslim, this Islam man, he don't feel nothing for you. He's not the promise, baby. The promise can't feel. The promise can't. The one that's not the promise can't feel for the promise. Now wake up. If Ishmael is not the promise, you think he's gonna feel the one that is the promise? The one that is the promise is his greatest enemy. It's his greatest enemy. Knowing who is the promise and knowing where the promise is at, knowing that he played a role and in the promise being in the situation that they're in. Oh, yes, Ishmael know all about you. That's why I say what Yah is saying to me. I'm like saying, you're telling me about the awakening, and you mean to tell me that's a part? If somebody talk about the awakening, you mean Ishmael is plotting on Judah? Yes, Deborah. But have they awakened? They have not awakened. That's why I said the first, awaken to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's Yah. Know yourself. Know the truth of Yah. Knowing yourself is enough to understand that, okay, to know myself, I mean, he ain't talking about the self that you're trying to make yourself out of. He said the truth of the matter, that disobedient, that stiff neck and that rebellion you, he said, know that. That's your awakening from the kingdom. You want to awaken to something? Awaken to Ishmael. Watch his move the rest of the time. Watch the move of Ishmael and how it's going to win a lot of role in the earth. Ishmael is still after Judah. And I had no idea until the Spirit told me that today. So that's when he went into understanding the true awakening. Is when you awaken to that stuff. And he said, because I was saying, but Father, they didn't done studies, they didn't done they reading, they didn't precept, they didn't lie. You mean they don't know that yet? No, they don't. They have no idea. I cannot believe. So the next one was, he wanted to say that many are constantly falling away. They're falling away because the cares of the world is taking the minds of individuals. Why? He said, preparing, being ready, setting things up can get your focus off of what's really taking place and what is actually before you. And it'll cause you to fall away. That's what the Spirit told me. Many is still falling away, Deborah. He said, being in the mind of preparing, being ready, setting things up is a form of taking you from one level to a level where you are focusing on being prepared, being ready, and setting things up. Then you can't really focus on just you and him. what he's capable of doing, how he's capable of keeping you, how he's capable of shielding you and protecting you, because your cares of everything else has gotten your mind bombarded to believe to I can't believe my computer is really uh your it's covered. Your mind is preparing for so many things that is taking place in this world. Our mind is telling us, okay, prepare for this, be ready for this, be ready for this, set things this way, set things this way, set it in order here, instead of being in a relationship with him. You started right, he said, but you're pulling away because the cares of this world got you thinking you got to have this A, B, C together or else. So the Father is saying, many still are falling away, Deborah. Mm-mm-mm-mm. And he says it has a great deal to do with the mind and how we are allowing our mind to fall away into the cares of this world. Now we're going to go into Psalms 91. Psalms 91. I want to bring you in on Psalms 91 to show you you just can't take Psalms 91 and apply it as if you own it. Okay? And this is what is happening with the study guide, period. Once they get the study guide and they precept it and they line it and they little here and they master the verses and they said it said it said it said it, they have no need for the Ruach, because a book cannot override the promise of coming and abiding in you and teach you all things. But when people have mastered the book to the point where they quick to tell you we got to go by Torah this, Torah that. They forgot the new sheriff came in town that overrode that stood tall and firm on top of Torah. Why? Because Torah could not obey Yah at all. All the chances he gave them in Torah, they didn't obey. So we needed a deliverer that would deliver us right back into the bosom of the Father. And he did an awesome job. And I thank the Father for himself. So in Psalms 91, he said that, and I was wondering why this have been on me for about 6 months. What is going on? But then I began to see so many people is tied up with Psalms. They making music, poems. They make using different instruments. They even applying it as their savior. I'm serious, you guys. And I always said I'm going to have to go into Psalms because I want to know, what is this y'all doing? How are you doing that? They have no idea what Psalm is really saying. So let's go to Psalms. In the books of Psalms 91. Psalms 91, and I'm sure many of you all have held firm to Psalms. But when we're done, you're going to learn that Psalms mean more than what we can hold on to. It is strictly an action of the Spirit. Okay? And David kind of did this one in, y'all. Let's go to Psalm. First, in Psalms 91, it says, he that dwelleth in the secret place. Who is he? Who is he? He that dwelleth in the secret place. Who is he? Wow. Whoever he is, he dwells in a secret place. He that dwelleth in a secret place. Someone says your spirit. Okay. He that dwelleth in the secret place. Maybe I continue the sentence of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You know what a shadow is? You know what a shadow? A shadow. You know how? Can you see me in this video? Don't you see my shadow back behind that wall? A shadow. You see that shadow behind that wall there? It's telling you that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Just imagine. That's the shadow behind me. That's the Most High. Let's say it's saying the shadow of the Most High. It's like a shadow. The one that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High. First and foremost, y'all, it's a secret place. It is a secret place. It's not a place that we can sit and say we there. You have to first understand that it is a secret place. He that dwelt in the secret place of the Most High. So who place does it belong? Who owns this place? Who place does this belong to? The Most High Yah. And he that dwelleth in this secret place of the Most High Yah shall abide under a shadow, under the shadow of the Almighty. So if you have, if you can imagine what a shadow is, okay, and that this individual abide under that shadow, because the shadow is of the Almighty. The secret place belongs to the Most High, and the shadow in which he hideth or he's under is of the Most High. What does that tell y'all? This ain't no worldly thing. This ain't something that you can just take and say, oh, that's me. Oh, I apply this to me. But baby, please look at all the spirit in that. How can we place ourselves there with even not even really understanding what it's saying? It's telling you the shadow is spirit. It's Yah's shadow. It's Yah's secret place. Okay? And it's his shadow. And he's saying anybody that dwells. He said, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of Almighty. That's all spirit, y'all. It's no way we can take that and make it worldly, fleshly, as we are in this today. Let's continue. Verse 2. It says, verse 2, I will say of Yah, he is my refuge and my fortress, my Yah, in him will I trust. I guess you would. If you in his secret place and you under his shadow, I guess you would. You see what David is saying? This is why he can trust Yah. He is his refuge. Yah is his refuge and his fortress. My Yah, in him will I trust. Why? Because he's under Yah's shadow. He's under Yah's shadow in Yah's secret place. Now, remember, I was telling y'all, even though I told you yesterday, he is under the shadow of Yah in his secret place, don't stop the world from causing things to come upon him or after him. Okay, so in 2, he said, I will say of Yah, he is my refuge and my fortress. My Yah, in him will I trust. You have no other choice, Yah. When you are dwelled in the secret place of Yah, let me say that again. How dare you all think that you can dwell in his secret place and he's not in you? Can somebody answer that? Maybe somebody can. Who is it that Yah will allow you to be in his secret place under his shadow and he's not in you? David, and I learned this because no other church, no church can teach us no way, but we learned that. But what I also learned was we always bragging about the Ruach or the Holy Spirit being in us. Big difference than back in the days, but really not a big difference because David them did have him in them. It's just that everybody around them didn't have him in them. Oh yes, they had him in them. You know why? David can't talk the way he talked without Yah being in him. You get what I'm saying? So he himself in verse 91, he's telling us how he had this relationship with Yah. But this was a spiritual thing, y'all. But I'm going to show you how Yah can kept him. And yet, look at all those wars that David was fighting. Look at all that trouble David had on every side, even with his family, his sons, his daughter, his wives. David had a lot of trouble. But guess where Yah had him? In a secret place, abiding under the shadow of the Most High Yah. And he says in verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from the snares of the foul, and from the noisy pestilence. Do y'all know what that means? Do you all understand what that means? David is saying, from the snares and the fowlers, and from the noisy pestilence. The noisy pestilence is very harmful. He's delivering him from situation where someone can trap him and destroy him, trap him and kill him. He delivered him from a deadly epidemic disease. This is what pestilence is, a noisome pestilence, disease. David is telling you in verse 3, surely he shall deliver thee from the snares of the fall, and from the noisy pestilence. David is telling us his own experience of how Yah kept him, that we too is going to be kept the same way. Only if you dwell in the secret place. See, that's what everybody forget. They think they like what it's saying because they can read it, and they feel because I can read it, I can apply it to my life. Don't forget who's saying, who's talking. And he's giving us some insight on those who dwell in a secret place. To those that's under the shadow. Y'all, look behind me. Do you see that shadow? Just imagine under that shadow is Yah, and under Yah shadow, he holds those that dwells in his secret place, under his shadow. And David began to say, and he shall cover thee. He's telling us that understand Psalms 91 in the realm of the spirit, not in the realm of the way you can quote it and believe it and understand it in your flesh. This goes beyond your flesh, baby. That's that sort of thing, go beyond your flesh down to your bone marrow and beyond it, because it's going after the spirit of who you are. So David is saying, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thy trust. Will he get you under that? Trust. I notice David is talking about trust quite a bit. I guess so, if you dwell in the secret place. What else you going to trust? Ain't nothing outside that secret place can you trust greater than that secret place where you dwell under the shadow of the Most High Yah. And David says that in verse 4, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thy trust. Just imagine wings and you up under that wing. And you so comfortable by them feathers till you trust being up under the feathers and the wings of the Most High Yah. I want to say to the Most High Yah, thank you for giving us something to go by. This give us the hope today. The same trust that David had then, we too can trust therein. Because David, let's go on in verse 4. And he says here, his trust shall be thy shield and thy butler, which is another shield. His trust shall be thy shield and butler, which is another shield. David going on in verse 5, and he said, thou shalt not be afraid for terror by night. Watch this here, y'all. Thou shalt not be afraid for terror by night, nor for the arrows that fly it by day. 24 hours, y'all. That's what David is talking about. 24 hours. Thou shalt not be afraid. 24 hours. Night and day, thou shalt not be afraid. I guess not, if you in that secret place. Verse 5, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day. Let you know, 24 hours. You ain't got nothing to be afraid. Okay. Then in verse 6, he says, nor the pestilence that walketh in darkness. What he means by that, he's telling Sister Deborah what's going to take place. See, I can't just read it and apply it and say I like quoting Psalms 91, like Psalms 91 is a good feel. This here takes you strictly in the spirit realm to help you in this day right here. To know if that is what David is saying. If you listen to it, David is saying it to those who also are in that secret place. That's who he said it to. Because he said here, he shall cover thee. So he's telling it to someone. Those that are in that secret place, under the shadow of the Most High Yah. See, David knows who he's talking to. He talking to his military army. He know exactly who he's talking. The message is even coming and reaching even to this very day. That's why people are taking it and using it out of the order instead of putting it in the proper order, which is spirit. That means those that are spirit should awaken also to the fact that what David is saying here is for you today. It's for you today. I'm going to show you where. I notice it's keep talking about this pestilence. Y'all know that's different diseases. I don't know if y'all know that or not. That's different. What did they call them? Epidemic and different diseases during epidemic. So listen to what he says. Nor for the pestilence, there I go again, that walketh in the night, the darkness. Why is he saying it like that? He's letting Sister Deborah know that there are diseases that is walking around, seeing who it is going to target. Y'all, if you ever think about COVID or what took place, that came and it went. But if you all ever take out time to do your study and see how many lives got off this earth, it'll blow your mind. See, a lot of people don't know nothing about that because they don't even think that what Matthew's 24 and verse 7 and 8 talk about earthquakes and famine and pestilence. See, it's so much that's taking place and bypassing us because we're thinking that surely that stuff ain't happening. That ain't going on. Just like the people who taking Psalms 91 and applying it to their flesh and not even understanding. Baby, stand down. David talking about the spirit realm, baby. Okay. And he's saying here, nor the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor the destruction that waste at the noonday. So what is he saying? It's going to be, Deborah, things that's happening nonstop, 24/24. So if there's pestilence, that means different diseases, y'all, epidemics, okay, in the night, in the dark. That means a lot of people ain't even know it. That is out here lurking in the dark. But he said something else. He said, nor as if, wait a minute, you got something going on in the day? Yes, Deborah. Nor for the destruction that wasteth at the noonday. David is telling somebody something. And it's those who live in the secret place of the Most High. And they abide under the shadow of the Most High, y'all. He ain't telling y'all, the world and everybody that's running around here, taking this verse and applying it to their flesh. How dare people quote this verse without taking it to the realm of the word it's speaking of? Okay, so it's, even though it's telling you pestilence and destruction, it's warning you in the spirit of these things. It's not preparing you in the flesh because the flesh can't handle it the way the spirit tells it. Okay, the way the spirit can speak what it is, the flesh couldn't even handle. But I guess that's why people quote it, because they think this is a shield of protection for them. But they fail to realize the beginning lets you know it's a secret place. That right there at the beginning tell you he ain't just talking to anybody. Okay. So in verse 7, it says, watch this. And this is why I say a lot of you all, you're not there. Because what David is saying in verse 5 and 6 tells the story in 7. It's what's going on now. Listen to what David said in 7. 1,000 shall fall by the side, 10,000 at the right hand, but it shall not come nigh to thee. You see what I'm saying? So people would apply that because people bothering them on their job. People will apply this because issues with their family. People will apply this Psalms 91 because the issue they have in that school. They would apply this because the issues they have in that church. They would apply it without taking it strictly to the spiritual realm of who the Father is. To know that this is something that David is sending all the way to us. David is sending this because verse 5 and verse 6 is actually summed up in verse 9, telling you the outcome. 1,000 shall fall by thy side. That means by the side. And it says thy side. That what did Sister Deborah tell y'all? I sit and tell y'all over and over. I feel that thing. I can feel that thing. Why? Because I keep telling y'all this is what the Spirit is showing me. These things are happening. Why ain't nobody else seeing it? Why ain't nobody else feeling it? Listen to what David says right here. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right side, and it shall not come nigh to thee. How was it benefiting David back then? Because it was happening then. But even him in the military, thousands are dying in the war with David on one side, 10,000 on his right side. Okay? But he said, but it shall not come nigh to thee. This is happening today, y'all. Why? Because David is the spiritual seed. The secret place is in Yah. And we are the secret. We are those who abide in Yah. Okay? So here David is as well. What did I tell y'all? When it all come down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, he wanted us to understand Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the spirit realm. That's why he said, when you awaken, you already knew who they were in the natural. Pull up, y'all. Come on, pull up. No Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the spirit. That's all he's saying. If you want to wake up, how are you going to wake up to what you know already of them in the natural? So he's saying, come get to know who they were in me in the spirit. And that's what we're learning about David. And David is telling us this is how he rumbled, y'all. But it's only those who dwell in the secret place. People want Yah. No, they don't want to dwell in with him. And they don't want him in them. They just want it the way they want to feel it, the way they want to think it, the way they want to understand it. And they want to keep it going like that. But David is breaking down to you the deepness of Psalms 91. Psalms 91 ain't talking to people in the world. So you can quote this, rewrite it, sing it with the saxophone. You can sing it with the trumpet. You can sing it with the violin. I don't give a rat's behind what you do with it. If you don't get it in the realm in which it's trying to bring information to you, then you don't get it at all. You're just playing with yourself. Because in 6 months, y'all, I keep saying, I'm going to have to cover Psalm 91. I'm going to have to cover Psalms 91. Never touched it. Didn't read it, didn't go by. But this morning when I got up, I had my grandbaby and I began to just go over. I said, wait a minute, Father. He said, it got nothing to do with the natural. This is all spiritual. David said and told us, 1,000 shall fall at thy side. And that's even to you today, y'all. Look at how many people died from COVID. And 10,000 at the right hand. But it shall not come nigh to thee. Why? Did you miss 5 and 6? Pestilence. That's what it was telling you. Diseases. They coming, y'all. It ain't that they coming, they here. David was explaining to you back in his days. You see, a lot of times we wants to make today as if it's something brand new. No, baby. Yah is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. But he rumbles any way he wanna, and can't nobody tell him what to do with the way he want to do things. You just got to get in line with them. Okay, so in verse and thou shalt, I like the idea where it says, but it shall, and in my book it got B-U-T slanted, but hold up, Deborah, it shall not come nigh to thee. But yep, 10,000 shall fall by thy side. No, 1,000 shall fall by thy side, 10,000 by the right hand, but it's slanted. It shall not come nigh thee. You know what that does to people who are serving, not just servants of God, but those who have the Ruach in them? That's more assurance that if he had David like that, and now he's in me, oh man. You see, we should supposed to feel like David is sitting here telling me, and then you're supposed to tell others. You're supposed to tell others. But what you see what people doing with 91, I've been curious for 6 months for 91. Why is everybody using 91? 91, that's all you hear. Until I got in and I said, why are they talking about it? And he said, see, it's strictly spirit, Deborah. And they teaching it out of the order as if it's something. Just, I'm going to show you another example. You know, when he said, put on the whole armor, people are telling people like, go to your closet, put on the whole armor. People really think putting on the whole armor mean them just saying it and they got it on. And it's all spiritual, y'all. It's all spiritual. The armor is not even for you to put on. It put itself on you. And I don't get it. It's just, the book itself is what people apply to their life. But I do understand that the Bible helped people to live the lie. The Bible helped you to live a lie. That's why the word come to teach you the truth. That this thing is real. Just listening to David, I'm like, I said, hold up now, David. You sound like you're trying to step into this day. He just letting us know. And we probably bypass it, but he's showing us all the things and how, if you're in the secret place and the shadow of Yah, you under it, he got you. Don't let nobody tell you nothing no different. He got you. And that's what David is talking about. Verse 8. And I like verse 7 because it's telling you about the pestilence, the terror by night, the arrows that fly by day. That means guns, shooting. That's what I'm telling you. Arrows by day. That's gun, y'all. That's gun shooting. And the pestilence is this different disease and the terror, this war and these gains, not so much, gains and all this killing and stuff. David is shielding us today. And people taking it and swinging 91 like it's a play. Oh, Father, forgive them for they know not. So when you get to verse 8, it says, only with thy eyes. Now listen to this. I want to see who can answer this one. Anybody answer this question. Only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. What does it mean by that? What does it mean? Only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. Oh, my goodness. It's no way David is talking to the world. Who is he telling this to? Listen to what it says. Only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see the rewards of the wicked. I like that. Okay. That you will see the judgment of the wicked and it will not touch you. Exactly. That's what he said. He's going to let your eyes see it. But it ain't going to bother you. That is exactly what he said. Someone saying seeing as man, but not in spirit. Seeing as man, but not in spirit. Exactly. I like what you're saying, because you're saying, he is saying, you're going to see like the flesh, like man. That is exactly what he's saying. You're going to see. You're right. He's going to see like man the punishment and the judgment that he's going to put on him. Ooh-wee. Do you know what that means? When they read in Psalms 91, they have no idea what it's telling them. They have no idea today. And I'm like saying, but Father, why are they riding 91? The last 6 months, y'all. That's all I've been hearing. 91, 91, 91. And I'm hearing all these songs and all this music. They even got a dance for Psalm 91. I'm saying, what are y'all coming up with this? What is it about Psalms 91? They wants to play with it like the world. They don't want to take it where it really is trying to take us, because it's not for them. It's for us. You see, it's for us. It's not for them. That's why they playing with it. Because it's not for them. How you going to be in the secret place? And if somebody asks you, do you have the ruach, or do you have anything that brings you to that secret place, that say that you at that secret place? No, but he got me. That's how they mind think. They just to feel that I can quote this and this make my day. But I would rather for it to make more than your day. I would rather for you to read it and teach it in the order of the Spirit, to make those that's in the body of Hamashiach day, so they know they got something to trust, continue. They already know it, but to continue to trust in. Look what David's telling us. David is telling us right now. We sitting here looking, we don't know, have no idea why this is saying this, as if he's talking to us today, but he is. That's why I was trying to tell y'all, this Psalms 91 ain't for everybody. That's not what he want them to use it for. And I myself, I said, Father, they got a dance for Psalms 91. I'm telling y'all what I seen. They got a dance from Psalms. They got 2 or 3 saxophone players that plays 91. They got a trumpet player that's playing 91. They got these preachers teaching 91. They got all these people quoting 91. I mean, 91 is the number one Psalms that's on the media. I mean, not the media, but on YouTube. And I'm trying to figure it out. I said, what is going on with this 91? You know why? It was for the spirit realm, those who walk in the spirit. And those that are in the world has taken it and used it and apply it. And that's what gets me lost, because I'm trying to figure out, well, how can they do that? It's because they don't have the understanding of what it's saying. That's how. They don't understand the secret places for secret people. And who are these secret people? They under the shadow of the Almighty. You mean the mighty got a shadow? Didn't he go over in the beginning? What did he see, y'all? In the beginning, in creation. Let me go there. Genesis chapter 1. In Genesis chapter 1, it says, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the deep, and the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the work of the spirit of Yah moved upon the face of the water. That was his spirit. But we're under the shadow, which is still yet his spirit of the old Almighty. While we in his secret place. And here, like I said, in 7, you have to see how he's talking about verse 5 and 6. He's telling you that don't be afraid, because there's going to be terror by night, nor by the arrows that fly it by days. That's like gunshots. In David's time, it would have been arrows. But in our time, it can be bombs. It could be gun shooting, or whatever. Okay. But here in verse 6, nor the pestilence that walk. How are these pestilence walking? They're going to be among us, y'all. All kind of different diseases. That's walking in darkness. Why in darkness, Father? Because you ain't going to be able to know it. And they're going to be among you. Like today, y'all. It's like that today. Nor the destruction that wasteth at noon. He's letting you know 24 actions. Deborah, it took place in my time, and I'm speaking it for you all. Because greater is what you all share experience of what I'm saying. So they can't take this verse and apply it today as if it's just something before I go to work, I quote 91. You better quote it in the realm in which it's meant for and take it out of your flesh and put it in the spirit realm. Now watch this. And it tells you in verse 8, only with thy eyes shall thou behold and see. Only with eyes. You know why? He ain't gonna let nothing else come up on your body. Only your flesh man eyes is gonna see the judgment of the Most High Yah. All these pestilence and things that no, not the pestilence. All these falling by the side and 10,000 by the right hand. All of that, he's letting you know. You're gonna see it. I told y'all that. We're really thinking we're getting out of something. Why would David have to know these things that even he himself experienced? But we living in this day and out. We ain't got nothing. He's just letting them know. But you in a secret place. If you're in a secret place and you're under the shadow, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But we're gonna worry. Why? Because we flesh too. So we bound to be worrying about what's actually taking place. You're right. The war. That's what he's saying. Flying by night and day. So here in verse 9 it says, because thou hast made Yah, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy inhabitation. He lets you know we have to place Yah there. He's sitting here telling you, because thou hast made Yah, which is my refuge, even the Most High the inhabitation. He didn't put Yah as his all in all. So that's sending a sign to us in this day, y'all. We got to see Yah like David is telling you he had to see them. Because David is sending a sign to us that pestilence is going to be falling on one side and 10,000 on the other. But guess what he said? By day and by night. That means 24 hours. And you go into Revelation, it tells you the same thing. You go into Jeremiah, he tells you the same thing. You go into Ezekiel, telling you the same thing. You go into Isaiah, the same thing. Letting you know what that day that we're in is really taking place. But to hear David use Psalms 91, now I understand why everybody mess around with Psalms 91 now. It's because it's a spiritual mission, mystery. It is for those of the light, the seeds of the spirit. That's who that is for. Psalms 91. So now, even with Psalms 91, you too can now quote it to the utmost. You see? Okay. And then it says in verse 10, there should no evil befall thee, neither shall any plagues come nigh thy dwelling. Now, what is he saying? Listen to what it says in verse 10. Thou shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plagues come nigh thy dwelling, where you stay at. I explained that to y'all. You know how Yah brought Lot out of captivity through Abraham when Abraham went and got him? All because of Abraham. First thing Yah did, he went to Abraham, letting him know, I'm finna throw down where Lot is at. Abraham began to plead about the people. Abraham had no idea what was going on in Lot, in Sodom and Gomorrah, but he's pleading. But what really Abraham was saying is that he got his family was there. Without y'all really hearing him say, but Lot, my family. You see, y'all was gonna bring him out because of who? Abraham. And I say unto each and every last one of you, because I was thinking about it for the last 3 days about my kids. If you be right, y'all just might let your kids be on your left and your right. I've seen him in everything that I know about him. Always, and the prime example was Abraham. Remember Melchizedek, when Abraham gave him that tithes, but remember him when Abraham went in and fought to get Lot. Remember, Yah sent the angels in to Lot, but Yah paid a visit to Abraham, letting him know he's about to destroy the Sodom. He don't have to tell Abraham a rat's behind, but he told him. He said, "Let me tell you, I'm getting ready to throw it out." Why? When Yah have a relationship with you, he will warn you when it's time. There's things that's going to happen among you, or even those in your household, at your job, where you go. Living witness, y'all. A living witness. To the point, let me show you what I'm talking about. To the point when he don't warn me, first thing I say, where he at? Where he at? Father, Yah, you didn't tell me. That's what I say. I've been saying that for a good 20-some years. Because I've known him to always let me know when something take place, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Give me please let me know, Father. I don't even have to ask him to let me know. By him being greater in me and how he prepares me, let me tell you, he always sent a warning. So when I was scammed, my first thing is, okay, Father, what was going on? Why'd you let me get scammed like that? You know, what's going on? You went ahead of me. If you would have just slowed down and waited, just wait. But you went ahead. So then, therefore, my flesh went ahead of what Yah would have been saying to me in my spirit, but I took what my flesh. You see what I'm saying? So even with Lot, Yah warned Abraham, gave Abraham the victory to go defeat that army and to take everything back that they took from Lot and to bring Lot out, all because of Abraham. And I say this to each and every last one. It also can be like that with your household. If y'all see that you are steering your household right, and all he asks you is to train them up. And if you just coming into a relationship or a family, take it from there. Give them what I've given you. Teach them all that I have given you. If I'm greater in you, let that spill out to them. Let them know who I am. That's all he asks. That's all. And because Abraham had a relationship with the Father, this is what the Father done for him. Because Lot, I don't think Lot was worth a dime. I'm going to be honest with you. But I believe because of Abraham, Lot came out both times. Both times. And those major things, y'all, that wasn't no play. Y'all destroyed all the cities surrounding Lot, Sodom and Gomorrah, and everybody in there died. But Lot came out. Same thing with when they captured and took Lot whole town or whatever it was, and stole everything from them. He sent Abraham in there. Abraham went in there to get it. You think Abraham went in there fighting and winning that war because he was Abraham? No. The power of the Father was on every side of him, just like David trying to explain to us Understand, y'all, this is a secret place. This ain't just no any place. And that's where a lot of people fail, because we want to serve him like he ain't nothing. When he all that and something, there's no end. We want to treat him like he low and we high. And it all has a lot to do with where we at in this old ugly world. When we think we all this and all that, we can just put him down below, and we still this and that, not understanding that you can't be a part of him if he ain't your highest level, especially your highest level of thoughts, your highest level of actions, your highest level of feeling. If he ain't there, you ain't got him. Okay, so here in verse 10 it says, Psalms 91 verse 10, it says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall the plagues come up a night thy dwelling, where you live, where you stay. You see how he'll keep you? David is giving us a glimpse of what we should already knew by now. But you want to wake. You want to awaken. Oh, we awaken, and it hurts me to see these Hebrew Israelites on these devil platforms and on these corners. We awaken. What are you awakening to? Stupidity? Anything we're gonna awaken to, you bet it better be spirit and truth and that light. And this is what David is letting us understand when we are in that secret place under the shadow of the Almighty. Okay, and the plagues. Remember the plagues in Matthew 24 and verse, I think 7, 8, and 9 is talking about how there's going to be plagues. Remember the plagues that came upon Egypt? Did it not kill a lot of people? Did it not kill a lot of people? Well, I got word that it killed something like, I think it was 240,000 people. No, was it that? 224,240, somewhere, a lot of people. Those plagues that he poured out onto Egypt. When you all don't understand, those are the same plagues that's at your door today. They're at your door today. That's just how close the plagues is going to hit us. Just that close. But listen to what David is saying. David says, there shall no evil befall you, meaning the plagues. Neither shall any plagues come nigh thy dwelling. Will not come near your dwelling. But so what David is saying, they coming. Matthews 24 said they was coming in this day. These are the things people bypass, but they want to take Psalms and make it personal. Personal is flesh. How about pulling that bad boy in the spirit realm? You're not going to be able to, because you're going to have to be able to understand it. It's talking about a spiritual realm and how you're going to be kept by a spiritual creator. Okay. And here it's saying in verse 11, for he shall give his angels. Wait a minute. Hold up, Father. Where you going with that? Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Psalms 91, for he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. What do he mean by that? Anybody understand that? What is being said? What is being said? And he shall give his angels charge over thee. Wait a minute though, Father, but I'm in the shadow. I'm in the secret place. I'm under the shadow. Do y'all watch what I'm about to say? But Father, I dwell in the secret place. I'm under the shadow of you in your secret place. Now, what's this thing in verse 11? For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. What is he saying? What is he saying? He's sending a sign. He's saying something very powerful there. Even though you in the shadow, you in the secret place of the Most High Yah, under the shadow of the Almighty. What is he saying? Protection. Okay. Okay. Verse 11, you say protection. Okay. For he shall give his angel charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. You know what he's talking about? Protection, exactly, of the flesh. Because see, you dwelling in the secret place, that's spirit. You under the shadow, of the Most High Yah, that's spiritual. So your spirit is being kept in the secret place of Yah. And it's under the shadow of the Almighty. But you got a flesh walking here on the earth. So what did he say? For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. So you remember how he talks about we fight not against flesh and blood, but principality in high places. This is what these angels are there for. Because they constantly have to battle the dark angels that's also above us. Right here as we speak. I don't care if you're in your house. I don't care where you at. They're everywhere. He wanted us to understand it. While we focus everything on the flesh, he letting you know the biggest problem is in high places. But he said, David said he gives his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Why? Because if you sleep, those in principality in the high places, they can take you out. But they come not near you. When Yah's angels is camped round about you. Yah do that. That's why I try to explain to you all, when these people are reading Psalms 91, they have no idea the power. See, that's what, remember it says they deny the power they're in. That is actually what happened in 91. They want to teach 91 without the power. And how dare you? 91 talking spirit. So you got to have the power of he that is. You can't just take it and teach this thing without the spirit and the power of who the Father is, and put it under that category. Okay, so here he got the angels. He gives them charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Why? Because to keep your flesh. Because he got your spirit. Because he ain't gonna be around here keeping your spirit. He's sending us angels to watch over you. Okay, verse 12. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy feet against a stone. Have you ever heard of that one before? Lest thou dash thy foot against the stone. That's what Satan told Yeshua on Mount when he took him to the when he took him to the mountain, or whatever they want to call it. It's a mind thing, but yeah, Satan used that too. But he said here in verse 11, Psalms 91 in verse 11, for he shall give his angels charge over thee. Now we in verse 12, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. You see that? When I spoke just now on verse 12, that's telling y'all how Yah 24 hours got his eyes on you. That's a blessing inside of a blessing. That's what 12 is saying. He got you. 11 and 12, he got you. Yah say, I got you your spirit dwells in the secret place of under my shadow. But I got the angels. I given them charge to keep thee in all thy ways. Verse 12 said, they shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. These are the angels keeping you out of harm's way. You see? Verse 13, thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. You see that? What is 13 saying? Anybody? What is 13 saying here in Psalms 91 and verse 13? Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, and the young lion and the dragon shall thy trample under feet. Under feet. You go back to Genesis chapter, I think it's, let's see here. You go back to Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15, it says, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between the seed, thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Thou shalt bruise his heel. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. You see that heel? Satan, his ways, your steps that Yah has ordered, bruises his head, because he's coming after your steps that Yah has ordered in your life. So when you go to 13, it says, thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, and the young lion, and the dragon shall thou trample under feet. Right here today, 99.15 trillion don't understand Genesis chapter 3 and verse 15. That idea of you wounding his head and he bruising your heel. It's still because you trampling under feet the dragon, wicked and evil. You see? Because Yah ordered your steps. And your steps is to trample head of the serpent and its darkness and its seeds. Okay? So when you read 13, people, when they read that, they have to understand what is actually being spoken about this treading upon the line. And when it says the lion and the dragon shall thou trample under feet, you're going to have it, you're going to defeat it. You see? These are all the things that he has given you the ability if you are the spiritual seed. Okay? Verse 14, because he has set his give and gave upon me, which I would say give upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he has known my name. He has known my name. Let's go over 14 again. Because he has set his give, he has set his giving, he has set his giving, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high. Praise the mighty Yah, because he has known my name. Can anybody expound on verse 14? Something is being said there. Because he has set his love, me, myself, I don't believe there's a word out of the vocabulary of the spirit of Yah called love. Because I think what Yah is give and gave. And I use that in place of the word love because when you convert love backwards, it says evo. And in Hebrew, it does not say love, okay? But they put love there in a way that they should not because it takes away from really who Yah is. Yah is give and gave. Everything he created, he gave it unto us to be useful to us. He gave us his breath. He gave us his image. He gave us his likeness. He gave us his grace and mercy. And he created all things that we may use because he gave it to us. To the point where even at the end, he's going to give us a new Jerusalem that's coming down. A new Jerusalem. Everything the Most High consists of is give and gave. So here when it says in verse 14, Psalms 91, it says, because he has set his gift upon me, therefore will I deliver him. Because David has given himself back to Yah to serve and represent Yah. He said, because there will I deliver him, I will set him on high because he has known my name. How many times have you heard in this here a study guide David quote the name? Have y'all noticed that? You notice everybody go out here acting crazy about the name. Why is it nobody have the name? Why haven't the name been placed anywhere in this book to where at a cut to cheese everybody know the name because it be in this book? What happened? That shows you this book is not the word. It is words. It is a study guide. That's why he says study to show thyself approved. But you're going to have to righteously divide the word of truth. And that rests in the Ruach that says he will come and I will teach you all things. And that is spirit and that is truth. Okay, so we're left with studying. As he told the disciples and Mary and all of them the day of Pentecostal, go and tarry until I come. What happened? Nobody wanted to tarry. They didn't want to wait. Even to this very day, nobody want to wait on Yah. They want to move at their own pace, their own wisdom, their own knowledge, their own understanding. Can they? Will they? Should they? Yes, yes, yes. Because people don't understand you are born to live your flesh out when you don't focus on living your spirit out according to the spirit of Yah. Because Yah is not coming to abide and connect in your flesh. He's coming to connect with what he gave you, which was a spirit. He's going to come into your spirit and he said, you're going to abide with me and I'm going to abide with you. Who is he bringing with him? The Son of Man's spirit. He is also one. He is a oneness like you are in the Father. You see? Us all are oneness in the Father. That's why he put the head to be Christ and not the Son of Man. Okay, so here he was saying, because he has set his give upon me. He gave me himself. Therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high because he has known my name. Now, going back to the name. People. It is impossible for people to know his name without his spirit living in them. You cannot know the name of Yah without him living in you. You cannot know the name unless he that is the name, which is greater than anything on the outside of you, is in you. This is the reason why you got so many denominations and so many beliefs and so many different names, because they don't understand the name is not a name that you quote out of the flesh. It is the name that you know in your spirit that you represent. Oh, that's that secret place, Deborah. That's the secret place of the Most High Yah. See? It's a secret place that David knew. See? And he knew he resided in that secret place. And he knew that the shadow of the Most High Yah had him under that shadow of who the Most High Yah is, was, and shall always be. So that name that David knew, people wondering right now today, why isn't this book telling you the name? No one ever asked the question. No one never asked us to Deborah. This book don't give you the name. I know they said he said Jehovah. They said he said Yahweh. He said this and he said that. But guess what, y'all? You cannot hold the name without the power. And you cannot have the power without the name. See, that's what everybody want to do. He said, denying the power they're in. Where is the power at, Father? They're in, Deborah. Wait a minute. Hold up. Denying the power they're in, but where is the power? They're in. That's why they don't want the word. Because the word abides by the power, and the power abides by the word. And it told you the word was in the beginning, and the word was Yah. So he's going to come and abide in you, and you ain't going to know his name. You sick. You sicker than sick. His name is in your spirit. It's detached to that belief and that faith and that fear and that righteousness of who he is that rests in you. You're going to have all that good stuff and ain't going to know his name. Make it make sense. You ain't going to be able to make it make sense because it don't make no sense. So while everybody's walking around, running around, and his name is this, his name is that, that's on the outside. Bring me his name on the inside. Tell me his name from your inside. Come on with it. Greater is he that's on the inside, not he that's on the outside. So tell me, how great can you be with the name on the outside when you don't have him on the inside? The name is that which knows him. Like the example, Jacob said, I seen him. I'm like, Jacob, I seen him too, Jacob. I seen him more times as well. I ain't ashamed that I've seen him face to face. He's shown himself to me too many times. How did he do that, Deborah? How did he do that, Deborah? His power. When Yah allow you to see his power, you've seen him. So Yeshua pull up and tell him, what you mean you ain't seen the Father? I told you you've seen the Father. We ain't seen the Father. When you see me do the works, you seen the Father. See? There go that power. These things that I do is not mine. It is the Father. And when you done seen me, you done seen the Father, because I've been doing this work all the time through the power. Do they get it? Mm-mm. They don't get it. But it's meant for them not to get it. That's why they get this Psalms 91 and they apply it to their life. And you can't apply Psalms 91 because 91 ain't for you if you are not the spiritual seed that walk in the Spirit, born of the Spirit, not born of the flesh. But see, they can do that. They can take this whole book and apply it to them, because this whole book really dedicates to a lot of the flesh of people. The Ruach applied to you. That's the real word. You want to find out where the real word is at? Tarry for the Ruach. Why didn't y'all can't think? Why did all the disciples never believed a thing, even when they was there doing the miracle signs and wonders? They never believed nothing Yeshua said until that Ruach came. The day of Pentecost. Why? Because he told them to tarry until I come. How many of y'all know how to tarry until he pull up? You see what I'm saying? And when he pulled up, he brought everything with him. He even brought the fact that I'm going to bring everything to your remembrance, what Yeshua taught y'all, because y'all don't remember nothing. But when I come in you, you're going to have that power to remember everything you ever been taught. You're going to know things that's going to take place. You're going to know things that's coming to pass. You're going to be able to learn all things. I'm going to comfort you. I'm going to show you things to come. Don't mess with me. Just tarry for me. I'm coming. But when I come, I told you what you're going to receive. You're going to receive that power. Won't nobody preach that thing with power. They won't teach it with power. They won't preach it with power. They just won't. Because when he said, now what sense does it? If the Ruach is coming, that's why Peter couldn't really stand on top of Paul. And the ignorance of everybody who trying to do away with Paul, their ignorance is, wait a minute, you trying to do away with Paul, and Peter and them followed Yeshua 12 months. I mean, not 12, 11 of them, they follow Yeshua all the time. And they didn't know a rat's behind of what he was doing. They was touched with the power to heal, to teach, to do they didn't teach, but to lay hands. They received, they got the foot washing, they got everything. Oh, they walked side by side with Yeshua. But you're going to do away with Paul and say Paul wasn't there. They wasn't either. See how stupid people are? They wasn't either. Only thing that brought it to them, what Yeshua had said from the beginning, he didn't choose them. From the beginning was what? The Ruach. When the Ruach came, it quickened them to know everything Yeshua had spoken unto them. So how you going to tell somebody Paul didn't see Yeshua, nor did he walk with him? Why do he need to? The Ruach pull up, everything got to bow down. You see, that's the ignorance of people. And that's why I say with this Psalms 91, people bent. They want to play in this here. And that's just not Psalms 91. That's just everything that Yah is about. Everybody want to put them on the tail end and say, I'll catch you on the tail end. But it's going to be where I feel I'm the head. You see, and they're always catching it on the tail end the wrong way because they backwards. They tail backwards. You see, not really gripping the fact that the 12 disciples didn't know nothing either. They needed the Ruach HaKodesh just like Paul needed it. I tell you what, I wasn't with Yeshua. I didn't walk with Yeshua, but I tell you what, catch me on the spiritual end. You be messed up from the floor. You see? That end where the Ruach reside in me and teach me all things. Come on that end on me. Did I walk with Yeshua? No, I wasn't there when he walked. The 12 was, but guess what? One hung from a tree. And the other 11, guess what? They didn't know a rat's behind until the what? The day of Pentecost. What took place, Deborah? The Ruach HaKodesh pulled up. That's what all of us need. To walk even in the midst of this midnight hour. We walking around here, no, we don't. We don't need nothing. We got everything. We got the name packed now. We got Torah. You ain't got nothing if you don't have the Ruach, that spirit of the Most High living in you. You as good as dead, y'all. And don't let Satan know that. You as good as dead. So you can quote Psalms 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96. You can quote whatever you want to quote. Until that Ruach pull up in you and teach you all things, you don't know nothing. And you don't have to know the name that comes out of the flesh of men and women. When the name you knowing is living in you. How crazy does that sound? He's in you, living in you. He's greater than anything on the outside of you, but you don't know the name. Sit down. Okay, so here in verse 14, let's sum this up. Let's go to verse, that's what he was saying, that David knew my name. Why ain't nobody give it? Why didn't this book give the name, y'all? Just cut the cheese and everything. Why? Because somebody else wrote the book, y'all. Like he said, they added Deborah, they took away, and they smeared it. Find your way home. And the way home is when the Ruach HaKodesh come within you and teach you all things. That's home. The disciples went home. They walked side by side all those years with Yeshua, and they still went home. They didn't come home till the Ruach come in them and brought them all the way home. Okay, so in verse 15, he shall call upon me and I will answer him. Thank you, Father, y'all. I will be with him in trouble. See, that's the problem. Let me talk about that right now. We are in a heap of trouble, whether we knew it or not. 99.9 ain't gonna own it, because a lot of people are caught in self. They thinking everything surround them, me, and mine. But when y'all pull up, be like the day of Pentecost. He only coming for what is his. Okay, all this stuff of me, mine, and ain't even preparing to even know his movement in this day and time. People don't care about what he's doing in this day and time. They don't care about no revelation, no prophecies. They don't care about nothing that was said that's going to come, that's happening. They don't care about none of that. People think they got their keys and they ticket to the kingdom, and that's all that's matter. Okay, so in verse 16, he shall call upon me and I would answer him. I will be with him in him. I like that. With him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Verse 16, with long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. Praise the Most High Yah. Psalms 91 is not what people are quoting it to be, singing it to be, dancing it to be, preaching it to be, teaching it to be. If you don't pull that bad boy in the spiritual realm, you just playing with yourself. Because Psalms 91 is strictly speaking, David is speaking of the spiritual realm, introducing Yah to us in a way today that would help us in this midnight hour. Why? Because this time that we're in is like no other. And 99.15 billion do not believe that we are in a critical time. They think it's the time to lollygag. They think it's the time to play. Go right ahead, play, and do whatever that pleases you, because Yah is only going to come from what is his. That's it. That's just it. So you don't have to portray you it and you are with him or whatever. He's coming for what is his. So Sister Deborah, I hope you got something out of Psalms 91 and understand it's for you as it is for me that David sends us the warning of what he was with him, and that David was not just saying what it was he was for him. I heard from David telling me to take on that and run with it today. Keep it in the lane in which I'm running, because it's going to be the same way. Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you all in the live. And guess what? I will be back. Shalom and shalom.